Alright, so I told you I'd reveal what series of light novel I've just been enjoying so much here lately. I've just been reading these almost as soon as they arrive from Amazon. And, well, without further suspense, here it is. This is Ascendance of a Bookworm. I'll do anything to become a librarian. Yes, this is a kid's book, but I love it. It's so great. This is by Mia who's basically, from what I understood, she wrote this when her own child had gone to kindergarten. She used to write novels in junior high school, or started in junior high, then took a job, got married, had a child. Child went to school. She found she had more time. Wrote some books, and boy, are these good! so I won't do any spoilers, but basically, so this is kind of our main protagonist here, Mine. She starts off as 5 years old, and like, honestly, I just turned 54 just a little while ago. I was a little hesitant, because let's face it, the history of children in anime and manga hasn't always been good. But I'm happy to report this is far closer to Totoro than Higurashi. So no worries there. It's recommended for teens. I would have no issue whatsoever with teens reading this. If any young adults have read Harry Potter, they'll be more than emotionally equipped to handle this as well. Like most light novels, it has that lovely little fold out on the inside with like a bigger poster of the cover, as well as a nice kind of group shot where you can see Mine's family and her friends. The basic story, and again, no spoilers, but 22-year-old Japanese college student Urano is a woman who's lived her life for books. She lives to read. She's a book otaku. So she has this immense amount of knowledge from reading like anything she can get her hands on, but like no practical skills or very little practical skills whatsoever. She's killed in this freak karmic accident, basically, and is reborn into another world as a 5-year-old. And we learn later that this 5-year-old Mine had basically just succumbed to her illnesses. She didn't want to go on because she has this terrible illness where she has fevers, she's very weak, always in pain, finds it difficult to go on, and this is the body that Urano goes into. So again, she has incredible difficulties as well, because you have this 22-year-old book otaku all of a sudden is now a sickly 5-year-old, where there is no books. So this is the whole thing of the story, but it's kind of genius in a way, in because you get to see this world very, very concisely in a little bits at a time, right? So you start off in Mine's room, and she barely even goes out of the apartment that her family lives in. So even the first time she goes to the market, her mother had to carry her on her back because she really didn't have the stamina. She can barely make it down the stairs. We learn of this world, and it's like a medieval world, little by little by little. And, that's interesting all, but by the end of book one in the epilogue, and the thing about these, like the prologues and epilogues are always from a different character's point of view. The main story is Mine. The prologue and the epilogue will always switch to a different character. So by the time we hit the epilogue of book one, there's a bombshell dropped. You realize that, maybe this really is a fantasy world, and maybe it's different from our medieval world. So, and that's where things kind of get interesting. And as you go along and you discover what's going on, it just gets better and better. Honestly, like I got this recommendation. I was with a Mushoku Tensei video. Somebody had commented about the world building, and there was a reply that said, if you enjoy the world building in Mushoku Tensei, you'll enjoy the world building in Ascendance of the Bookworm as well. And that is true. Miyakazuki does a wonderful job of building this fantasy world bit by bit that Mine just gets exposed to. So I'll show you all the covers. So that's part 1, book 1. Part 1, book 2. Part 1, book 3. That's a lovely shot of Mayans family there. Part 2, book 1. Part 2, book 2. Part 2, book 3. Part 2, book 4. This is part 3, volume 1. Part 3, volume 2. Part 3, volume 3. I have part 4 and part 5 upstairs. I'm currently reading. The next 3 are on the way for Amazon. And I almost forgot. So Miyakazuki is the author. The illustrator is Yu Shina. I hope I said that right. But the true hero of these volumes is the translator. It just goes by Quof, like Quof. But I gotta say, like, the translation is wonderful. I've also trying to read Overlord, but it's so obvious that went through an AI to translate, and a lot of times there is no flow. There's words that you wonder why they used when they used it. This just flows beautifully. It is, you can picture it in your head. It goes along very nicely. The characters have distinct voices. They have mannerisms. It's really nice job on the translation. So thumbs up. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.